Well, hello and welcome to the Barry Foster Show. Glad to have you with us on this new podcast that we have here. You've been used to hearing me on the radio for almost 4 decades. Well, now we've switched to the internet, something a little bit new. For those who don't know, I stepped away from the radio on May 10th of last year after nearly 4 decades of local broadcasting here in Highlands County. I was the news director for the Highlands Radio Group, for the Cohan Radio Group, and other iterations. I ran a talk show. I did a lot of special programming like elections, the 12 hours of Sebring, and other kinds of things such as that. Uh, but as the time has gone along, family and friends have urged me to get back and do some more broadcasting. So when I first stopped doing the radio broadcast, I just took a little time off. I took a bit of a hiatus, took time to relax. It's amazing how much better you feel when you don't get up at 3 o'clock in the morning anymore and hit the ground running doing news. And although I do really miss working with my former co-host Donnie Schaefer, I don't miss getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. But I can't not work. My wife has accused me of taking anything I do for fun and making it into a job. For instance, when we started traveling, I began to travel blog. I started a blog, which still is going on now, called Florida Fun Travel, as we traveled around the Sunshine State to the East Coast and the West Coast, taking in all the sights and sounds. I reviewed restaurants and places of interest and the hotels we stayed at and that kind of thing. I started a promotions company called Highlands Promotions, which has been going on. I've been doing work with some local political candidates and some local businesses, and I did also finish my book, published by Behringer Publications. It's called Sebring: The First 10 Years, the first decade of the Mobile One 12 Hours of Sebring, and it's actually going to be the first in a series of books. But I've been working on this for almost a decade, and I'd had the notes, and at one point I decided, well, let's take this and type it all up. So I typed out about a 60 or 75 page manuscript that I had. And one day I walked in and my wife was looking at it and she was reading it. And she said, "You know what, Barry, this is really good." I said, "Well, you think so?" Now, I got to tell you, Sandra is maybe not the biggest race fan that I know, but she is an avid reader. And her sister is an avid car girl. And we sent it up to her and she liked it as well. So they encouraged me to publish it, and I got involved with Jeff Schlesinger. In fact, doing my promotions company, an author had reached out to me and asked to help with the publication of his book or the promotion of his book. And I asked him what company did he use. He said, "Well, Behringer." So I contacted Behringer and said, "Well, I've written this book," and they wrote me a very polite letter back saying, "Well, we don't publish every manuscript that we get, but send it to us." So I sent it to them, and about a week later, I got a call saying, "Barry, we'd like to publish this book." I said, "Really?" And I want to thank Jeff Schlesinger and the group for walking me through the process, for helping me get the pictures in the right places and the right kind of type font and the paragraph headings and the foreword and the acknowledgments and all the parts that go to a book. I've done a lot of writing in my life. I've written for newspapers and magazines. I've written scripts. I've written all kinds of things. I never had written a book, and they really walked me through the process quite nicely. And I can't thank them enough for everything that they did for me. And it's out now. It is available on Barnes and Noble and also on Amazon. It's called Sebring: The First Decade. It starts with the original race, which was the Sam Collier Memorial, a 6-hour race that they held on a kind of a makeshift road course at the Sebring Regional Airport. It was known as the Sebring Air Terminal at that time, and it grew into the 12 Hours of Sebring under the tutelage of a gentleman by the name of Alec Ullman. But if you want to read it, it's all in the book. It's I think it's $23.95. It's well worth the read, and it was a lot of fun putting that book together. It took a while. It's the first in a series. I'm going to start doing 10-year increments. So hopefully we'll have 7, as many as 8 different 10-year increments before I reach the end of mine. So it's really it's really been an experience. And now we are launching a podcast here, trying to get in line with a new medium. They tell me that podcasts are better because people can listen to them at their convenience, and I'm hoping that's the case. Over the course of these podcasts, we're going to have some special guests. We're going to talk about some topical issues, some evergreen issues, and certainly if there's anything that you would like me to talk about, or anything kind of guest you would like me to have, it's easy to reach me at thebarryfostershow at yahoo.com. That's thebarryfostershow at yahoo.com. And you'll be able to talk about some of the guests that you'd like to hear. We already have some people in the lineup to be coming on and be talking with us, but mostly this was just like a little opportunity for me to talk a little bit about what this is going to be about and to invite you to be part of this broadcast. It's good to be, as I say, back on the air again after about a 10-12 month absence. We're going to be putting these podcasts up on a regular basis. It's my first foray into this, so it's going to be a really interesting experience. So we appreciate you being with us. It's the Barry Foster Show at yahoo.com, and you'll be able to find all my podcasts posted right here on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.